Good afternoon and welcome to the Westport Board of Health October 27th, 2025 meeting, which I'm calling to order. Under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F, the meeting is being recorded. Please join me in
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Microphones on. Okay, we'll start with the director's written report. Short and sweet, so I assume there's no questions. We'll move on to your update now.
So transfer station, the truck is been acting up and cost us some more money last week, but we got on top of it and got it fixed. And the now the backhoe loader needs a new starter, it looks like. So I mean, I'll just keep fixing things until we run out of money, I guess, which is starting to come quick. But other than that, transfer station looks good. Operations are good. George Campbell went out there 2 Saturdays ago to show there's some big trees starting to grow up, and they're on the very back side of the landfill. So we had to buy a chainsaw to cut them down because he was nervous that they were going to possibly permeate the barrier. So we got those cut down. But all in all, things are moving along pretty good down there. Nick and Joe have been getting on top of the barn books. We have quite a few. Seems like every time we go out and do our inspections, we stumble upon another 2 of them. So the list keeps growing for barn books this year. But no major problems other than just a lot of people aren't around, and it's hard to set up appointments. So we give it a couple of tries, and then if we can't get through, we write it in the book and send it off saying we couldn't get on the property to do the inspection. So, and Board of Health is it's very busy with perks, especially there. We've got perks booking now well into December. John was out on a couple today down the harbor that didn't go all that well. I think Wednesday I would imagine they may be canceled at this point because of the rain, but down here at Pine Ridge Estates, they wanted to stop working those back lots, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with that yet because of the weather moving in. So stay tuned on that. So there's more things to talk about, but at our next meeting, I did receive, the process seems to be different this year for the $500,000 from DEP for the community septic loan money. Now there's like a 12-page document that I have to review and sign, which I did not have time to do today. And it kind of outlines the Board of Health responsibilities and what we're supposed to do. So before I sign it, I would prefer at our next meeting the board reviews it to make sure that we're good with whatever might be going on with that before I sign off on it, so I could put it on the agenda for the next meeting for you guys to review.
Fine. That's the November
3rd, maybe? No, 10th?
Okay, which is also when we have our hearing for the septic regulation.
Yes. And all that's already been advertised and all of that. And also, at that meeting, I don't know if you want to do it at that meeting or the meeting after, just talk about fees, maybe possibly some fees at the transfer station.
Okay. Maybe the next meeting, because
Okay, so it'll be what, the 24th maybe?
yeah, right before Thanksgiving, that week before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Okay.
And one director approved plan, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just before we go to that, any update on, I know the SNAP benefits, cliff will be November 1st. I saw that we have posted resources for people to, if they need help with food assistance, between the local food pantry and a bunch of resources in Fall River. Do we have that posted on the website?
Not yet, because I talked to Linda about that, and I gotta just vet out some of the, what's listed to make sure that it's viable to start sending people, in other directions.
Other towns.
Yeah. I know that WIC, local boards of health on WIC pickup sites. So I know on the local news late last week, I think it was maybe Thursday night, when they were talking about the SNAP benefits ending, and the first thing they said was contact your local board of health for assistance. And it's like, well, I don't know what that means exactly, but we don't, we might be able to steer them in the way of a food pantry or something, but we definitely don't have anything here that we have for resources that we can be handing out at this point. I did ask DPH if they're gonna start sending people to local boards of health, can we start using PHE money to buy gift cards or formula for people, but I have not received a response to that question yet.
Okay, and I'll just sort of 2 cents, if people who have resources can make, donations to the Westport Food Pantry, I think they're gonna be seeing a lot of demand, and I'm sure if you wanna help your neighbors, that would be great. Okay, anything else on your board, any other questions, board members?
No.
Okay, we'll move on to director approved plans.
Just one today. This is for 200 Atlantic Ave. It's a upgrade. I believe it's going from 4 to 5 bedrooms on a 59,507 square foot lot for a Nicholas Liard. It's using an Advantex and an Elgin, and it's still pending Concom.
I have no questions.
That's
So
fine.
then I move that we endorse the director approved plan for 200 Atlantic Ave, and pending Concom review.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the project for Nick Laird at 200 Atlantic Avenue, 5-bedroom upgrade. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
That's on the agenda for Concom for tomorrow,
Okay.
as far as I know.
Okay. That was with Concom.
But they dealt, you were okay with the whole velocity zone issue as far as the upgrade goes? Okay.
Okay, next on the agenda is the minutes from October 14th. Any concerns there?
I did not have any.
No, good.
All right, so I move that we approve the minutes for October 14th, 2025.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Good. That's, unanimous. I was a little slow on the draw there, sorry. Okay, other business, we'll do board member updates.
Well, just to say that Matt and I met with Bob Daler to go over the draft revision that Matt and I have been working on. I thought it was like a very productive meeting. So now I think, we haven't really talked about who takes the next step. I could come up with something. So, but I think that it's, kind of moving along to certainly a lot less pages, and I think more clarity on division of responsibilities between the zoning board, the conservation commission, and what's left over for us. And so I think we could have a draft, a public hearing draft in November, possibly.
And what's this regarding again, I'm sorry?
Stormwater.
Stormwater, okay.
Yeah, stormwater provision. So,
Well, we have that working meeting in between our next meeting, so a week next week, right? So I don't mean to push, but that's an opportunity for some initial discussion.
No, I think that makes sense too. Yeah, exactly. So I think the next draft would be fine for that, because then it'll kind of lay out the big picture items, that have changed and how we're, what we're focused on. And without necessarily getting into the nitty-gritty editorial details.
Okay, thank you.
So the Opioid Settlement Fund Advisory Committee is having a meeting tomorrow. It didn't get posted last week for our meeting last week, so we're having it tomorrow. One of our speakers is going to be Mr. Hartnett, who's the acting, I don't know if he's called an acting town administrator, interim, but to talk about the role of the town administration in supporting the Opioid Settlement Fund Advisory Committee and expenditures, because we're at a standstill right now. So I've asked him to come speak to the committee.
Right.
And I'm still working on, I need to meet with Matt at some point to review some of the research I've done on the sanitary dog policy from other neighboring communities and what they do or don't do. So I have to organize that to sit down with them.
Okay, I think just the only thing I worked on really was the home burial, moving that over to DEP, and have spoken with the town clerk just to give her a heads up for that planning purposes. So she's working on figuring out what to do for burial permit. And Matt has alerted the town administrators, because the final step would be approval by the select board. So we have our first home burial approval process completed. That's it for me, I think.
Do we have any plans for future Shorelines articles?
Oh, yeah. No, we don't. I think I think we had some topics a few months ago and I just completely forgot. So, we can do an article on the septic reg update where we, reduce the total nitrogen testing requirement. So just for information, I know that has an issue that the O&M operators are having some difficulty with homeowners around testing and keeping up their O&M agreements. So it's an opportunity to remind people that, amounts of corrections work down to keep things maintained. So I can do that one.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Just by mere suggestion, it doesn't mean I want to write it. But I think we should just keep a close eye on, the SNAP benefits and all, and maybe add an article, put something in an article just to, maybe a list of places or just some kind of helpful tips for people that may, need those benefits.
That's very timely. SNAP update. Once Linda has done her vetting, maybe because that would be useful for the other towns as well.
Sure.
That'd be great.
I was wondering, Matt, do you get a lot of questions about the accessory dwelling unit and septic issues?
Yes.
So, and I know there was like kind of this splash about it, but I don't think we ever did anything in the shorelines for.
I think that was probably on the list of things to do, and we just. That's me. I've kind of been distracted, so I forgot. Would somebody like to write about that?
I mean, if it's not like doing it for next month, I could definitely do it.
Okay.
I think I have all the background materials in the file.
Well, it looks like we've got a couple already teed up. So.
I just say, just to that, the biggest thing that we're running up against is existing houses. They want to put an ADU above the garage, and their house is 3 bedrooms, but it's really, but they're saying, well, it's 2 bedrooms, and we have all these rooms that qualify as bedrooms. It kind of puts us in a kind of a predicament of what do we do, right? Do we count those rooms in the existing house and make them decommission them in a way that kicks them out of the definition, even though they're not being used as a bedroom at the moment? But the potential exists if they sell the place, or they exist that they can be a bedroom at some point. I think that's our biggest challenge right now, because we have a lot of those backing up, because I have to do, there's a lot of research that goes into this. Joe has to go out, once or twice a week, and he's doing bedroom counts, it seems like, on different places. So, and then we have to figure out what we're gonna do with these extra rooms and how we're gonna deal with that.
Can I just say, because I maybe this came up at the meeting in which I arrived late at, but I know that we, in terms of the Title V definition, get really focused on the quantitative criteria of that, or does it have a window? Does it have this and that in it? But it's the introductory sentence to the definition which I don't think that we put any weight on, and I think it is be helpful to think about that more, which is, and it's not designated for sleeping.
Primarily used for sleeping.
Primarily used for sleeping, and then has these other it has these other characteristics. And so, the question is, hating to write a policy about it, but what is it that makes a room? What did you use the word? Primarily used for sleeping, versus it has the other just architectural components to it, and how do we address that?
Well, I think the issue is it has a window. It's a yes or no. If it's primarily used for sleeping, is gray at best.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But if I was an advocate, if I was here, I'd be advocating for, that it requires some weight. So if I say, there's no bed in there, or there's.
But a bed can be brought in.
I know, but then I don't disagree. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not disagreeing with you about that. I'm just saying, with my lawyerly whatever hat on, they didn't require, that sentence wasn't really required in the definition to define it. They just could have said, it has a window, it has a this, it has that. They would have to, that would be the end of it. But there's this introductory sentence to it, and, maybe there are ways that, we should address that would, not cause havoc.
Well, we kind of addressed it in the bedroom policy by saying a finished room, whether it be in the house or at a detached structure, if it's finished, it's presumed to be a bedroom. So we kind of addressed it in that way, but it's starting to become a little bit problematic. So I just think we should.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's a topic we can. Talk about it at the working meeting.
Yeah. I'm not. I would like to be able to have an answer to people who are, to applicants who, who look you in the eye and say, I have no intention of putting a bed in there. And our response back in a way is, oh, I'm sorry, we just can't trust you to put one in. And so, which is, I feel like that's, you know, a dynamic that could happen on the horizon. And I just
Yeah.
want to feel comfortable in, if there are objective things that we can say about it, to be able to say about it. Or, you know, or we get people to, you know, commit under the pains and penalties of perjury, that this is what they're going to do, and that we have a right to come by at some point and inspect, you know, that unit. And, you know,
Okay, well, let's.
because there could be people doing it in good faith and not do it, and just say, yeah, you know, that, I'm gonna paint in there. It's my artist studio, I'm not gonna sleep there.
Yeah.
And, but in order to do that, I have to spend $30,000 to upgrade my septic system. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm going on, but,
Well, it
You
sounds
know.
like we don't want to do a Shorelines article on it until we're squared away on it.
well, you know, it might be, exactly, yeah. I mean, if,
I
you know,
think
let's, you
we're
know,
looking in the new year for that. But
Yeah, yeah.
it's a valid topic for discussion, and I think it'd be great for the working group.
yeah, I mean, we could talk more about it at the working meeting, you know?
Yeah, and everybody can come maybe with some proposed ways of framing the issue that don't make it feel like we're saying we don't trust you, but say in a kind of, you know, what's a way to express it?
Right. I don't mean that they would, I mean, it could be interpreted that way,
Right,
because
well-
someone could say,
So how can we express it in a way that is
right,
you know,
and,
sort of
or, you know,
neutral?
puts conditions, you know, condition in a way that is, you know, would just discourage people from doing it. And of course, there is the resale thing and all that, you know, so.
Okay.
So, I mean, what I'm thinking about in terms of Shorelines articles,
Yep.
is I could try to do something by like the second week in November regarding maybe the issue of the SNAP benefits and all that with Linda. I can work a little bit with her on that.
Okay.
But it also comes right before Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
there may be a way for me to put that in from
Okay.
a public health and a mental health perspective and supporting our community.
Okay, so I penciled Olive, but you'll,
Well, I could do it with Olive too.
yeah, okay, great.
But we can work on that
Okay.
together and develop
Yeah.
something.
I think that would be the first article we should have, and
Yeah.
then later on I can do
I think we should
something
get
with.
the
So this is
most
first.
immediate concern
Yes,
is
right,
for our community members.
okay. Right, and at some point we have to start planning the Household Hazardous Waste Day, which we have the date confirmed for the end of March, but start planning that. Okay, we'll come back, actually we have time until 4:30. I'm trying to remember the topics we were gonna have for our working group meeting. So right now we have stormwater, bedroom, ADU. I think I wanna put on the agenda, Board of Health workload, potential strategies for managing with the, you know, we're reaching the burst of balloon stage where we just don't have the capacity to handle the workload, and there are ways we can simplify. So just have a strategy around that
When did you want to put this on?
the working meeting.
When's that, the 3rd?
Yeah, November 3rd. I mean, I think we just need to start talking about that, and I know we need to advocate for a part-time clerk at town meeting or with FinCom and so on, but just looking ahead, trying to be proactive, anticipating changes in personnel and workload that we can't continue the way we're going. So ideas like restricting perk appointments, looking at are there any discretionary activities, things where we can streamline or reduce, you know, and we can't maybe provide the level of service that we have been if we don't have the staff to support it. So
So when I spoke with you earlier, it's not just that, it's all of that. but strategically, we have to prepare for down the road. In the short term down the road, like, you know, in the near future, if somebody were to retire and we don't have somebody that had the opportunity to kind of learn the ropes, it won't be fun. I don't even know how to characterize what would happen. So,
Meltdown.
yeah, it would be a complete meltdown, and you know, I'm just trying to think ahead as I should and be ready for it. But I completely understand budgets and all of this. Believe me, I do. But I'm also tasked with, you know, running all these departments, and I've got to run them and make sure they function. And this is what it takes. This is what it's going to take. You know.
Well, that's why I think we need to start having that discussion amongst ourselves about, you know, what can we and prepare. You know, let folks know this is sort of what we're facing, and get some input from others as well. So, okay, so we have stormwater, bedroom, ADU, Board of Health strategy, reading workload. I don't think we're ready to talk about well regs, right?
No.
Okay, that's a springtime thing. Anything else we want?
We've got a couple to work on, so.
Okay. Well, we can have board member updates in that agenda too, in case anything else. All right, I'll work with you and Nancy to get that agenda filled out for next week. Okay, anything else? All right, do we have anything, actually, that clock is slow, it's 4:29, so, anything for unanticipated? I don't think, yeah.
No.
Okay. Is there a Mr. Ferrera here? Hello, Mr. Ferrera. Okay, I'm going to call a 4:30 public hearing for a large piggery permit application submitted by Carlos Ferrera to be operated at 85 Forge Road. You feel free to come forward. You can sit at the table and have received your application, and we also have Joe Reese here, who did the inspection, and we have his report. Just get to the file. Do we have any abutters here? So we're going to do the initial review and discussion, and then we'll open it up to abutter comment. So why don't you describe, just tell us a little bit about your operation and what you're looking to get as a permit.
Well, I always had a permit for 4
A small
adults.
piggery.
I had it since the 90s.
Mhm.
I always had it.
Mhm.
Well, they had babies. I mean, my animals are always locked in cement blocks. Mr. Reese saw it all.
Mhm.
And they get cleaned just about every day, and I wash it at least once or twice a week.
Mhm.
And the manure goes to a big pile. Ronnie Potter comes and gets it, but I put wood chip right over so it buffs it. You can't even smell it coming out of my place.
Mhm.
I mean, that's one of the reasons this happened, because one of my females broke the gate. The little ones took off her, and she brought them all back by herself.
Okay.
We looked for them, she brought them all back. It was amazing. I looked at my neighbors behind me, John, on his property for 3 hours. If they would have went there, we never would have got them back. There's 72 acres back there. I would never have got them back, you know. So
Okay.
it was amazing. They all came back by themselves.
Pigs are very
I
smart.
couldn't believe it.
Pigs are very smart.
Good food, huh?
I couldn't believe it. And my feed, it's on the reefer box. For my hay, it's on a box truck, and nothing gets maggots at all. And I cook the feed for the animal. I get potatoes from Simpson's farm, and I got a big tank outside. When it's full, I cook. Everything is cooked for them. Nothing is really raw going to it.
Great, okay, thank you. And you have received a copy of the piggery regulations? I probably had them before, but, so you understand the requirements. And it's, you sound like you have good management practices there. Okay, and we received we have copy of the report from Joe, who gave us a detailed
Where is
site
that?
visit report. That's here in the package. It's, no, it's big, but.
Oh, report? Okay, okay.
So, showing the, in more detail, the sheltered area, the various pens, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Those blocks are 2 feet wide by 6 feet long. They're high.
The cement
Big.
blocks.
They're all big cement blocks.
Yeah, okay.
And they don't stay on the rain, they sleep inside the houses.
Okay.
It's sort of covered up.
My understanding is this, the pigs getting loose was the first complaint we've had in 8 years. So, and obviously you don't want that to happen again, so be,
Yeah, so I couldn't help that.
make sure the gate stays closed. Based on the report from Joe, he's available for questions. You described as you described, the fee is kept in a box freezer, manure management plan in place, the area is clean with no signs of rodent activity or no odor. Current pig population, 3 adult female pigs. Female 1 is still feeding 9 piglets, which should be removed. Have they been removed yet?
What is it?
The female with 9 piglets expect to be removed by it.
Most of them are already gone.
Already gone, okay.
I only have one from her left.
Okay, and female number 2 has 6 newborn piglets that are 6 weeks old, and female 3 no piglets. Okay, so it's, and what else? I reviewed all the distances as required in the regulation, well away from the well, other structures, roadway, and wetland resource areas, all more than the required distances. Let's see, anything else to comment on? Anything, Matt, that you want to add?
Oh, yeah, no, there's nothing I want to add. This is, you know, as far as piggery, large piggery sites go, it's, you know, it's really good, well kept, maintained, and so I don't have anything more to add.
Okay.
We don't have any butters here.
We do have one.
Behind.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board to either Mr. Ferrera or to our agent Joe Reese?
No.
Okay, we had the regulations in our packets, so we had a chance to review that. Phil, did you have anything?
No, it sounds like, from what Matt and Joe reported, that structurally it meets all the setback requirements and, you know, criteria for manure management, and so that gives me a level of confidence about it, and, yeah.
All right, thank you. Then I'll open it up to the floor, and please just go to the mic and state your name for the record.
John Piggy McIntyre. No, John McIntyre, Eggberry Properties, a butter. 87 and 97 Forge Road.
Okay. And what do you do you have any concerns you want to?
Oh, well, I just wanted to learn more about it. What I don't know, what are the setbacks for abutting property and wetlands?
Well, now, if you only see, you reach a dwelling, right?
So it says
Well, but how
that,
about abutting property
Yeah.
and wetlands?
it says no pig shall be kept less than 100 feet from the nearest dwelling house on any abutting property. So it's not a property line distance, it's your house from the,
Yep.
and that all disposal areas, which I imagine would be where the manure is stored, is required to be 500 feet from an abutting dwelling.
Abutting dweller, meaning house?
The house itself, right.
What about wetlands?
That is 150 feet of any public or private way. No, that's not it. That's not included.
Yeah, it's no piggery located or maintained so that part of it is within 100 feet of a wetland resource area without prior approval of the Westport Conservation Commission. So,
And,
can't tell from the map, but it didn't
100
seem
feet from any well, 250 feet from the high water mark of any drinking water supply.
Yeah, no, I'm just more concerned about wetlands.
yeah.
250-foot setback from the Westport River or its tributaries. I don't know if there's anything specific to wetlands.
Yeah, it's the one that's 100 feet.
Oh, okay.
It's, yeah, unless, so if it was within 100 feet, then you'd have to come to the Conservation Commission to get approval. Because 100 foot is what's called the buffer zone, if you're not in the,
Right.
in the.
That's the only question I have. I'm pretty
in the buffer
sure
zone, then
that,
you
that-
have to- Yeah, but it seems like it doesn't seem like there's any wetland resource area, just looking at the overview of the map.
well, I'm having the property 72 acres surveyed right now,
Okay.
Okay,
and they're almost complete with the survey.
Okay.
And just from the early indications I have, part of my property in that area is wet.
mm-hmm,
So I just didn't know what the I'm not opposed to his operation,
Okay.
okay.
but the people that may be purchasing the land for development
Okay.
question the wetlands.
Right. Well, of course, they couldn't do any development within wetlands, so if there's wetlands towards that project.
Right, but yeah, they have a buffer zone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know where that falls right now. I think it falls pretty
Okay.
close to the property line, but I don't want to make a big deal of it.
Yeah, when I looked on the GIS map just to try and get a sense of resource areas, and there's some wetlands on the, I believe it's like a cell tower property on the other side.
That's, well, there's one on Carlos's property, and then there's
Okay.
one about.
You can take a look at it here. So I pulled up, this is what shows as wetlands. It didn't show any wetlands. It looked like there was a stream sort of, I didn't print the whole thing, but a stream like maybe in here somewhere, like a small stream. But if you go on have you been on the town GIS website?
Yeah, and it's not totally accurate according to what the surveyors are saying. So
Yeah.
back in here is wet,
Okay.
I think. Right, Carlos, that's probably wet in here.
It's wet.
It's wet in here.
Over, not on my property, your property, it's all wet.
Well,
Yeah.
right on the corner of your property.
My property is wet.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, no, I don't know.
It was
I
wet,
don't know
it
if
was
your
wet.
property's
Yeah.
wet or not, but I'm having wetlands and
Okay.
survey done right now.
okay. I would say, based on the information we have in front of us, the proposed piggery permit operation is in compliance with our requirements. If it's within 100 feet of a wetlands, you would have to go to the Conservation Commission. So if you establish that there's a wetland line closer, or within less than 100 feet from
Well, the piggery's right here, right, Carlos? Right at the end.
the piggery's at the back of the
This
property.
is my shop.
Yeah, that's a piggery.
This is the end of my property. right?
Yeah, that's what the piggery
Way in the back.
Yeah, right in the back.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so
Way in the back.
So this is where the piggery is located,
Yeah,
right here.
right.
You got the blueberry field on my left going down. You got the pine grove
We've
on
got
the right.
the stream that runs
Yeah,
right
that's
down.
way down. Nothing was in it.
Well, it's not unusual, I mean, maybe this is not necessary, but,
Yeah, I'm just
yeah,
questioning.
no, but it's not unusual for us to issue a permit, but make it subject to conservation approval
Yeah.
which oftentimes means just running it by the conservation agent, who just is both personally familiar and also has the resources to say, you know, yeah, this is fine, and just give it a check off without having to do any other process than that.
Like a formal.
Right, and the only reason I'm concerned is because I do have an interested party in all of the land.
Mhm.
And if they come back when this wetlands and survey thing is done and say, hey, this is a problem for me, what is my recourse? Not that I'm not against,
Yeah.
I'm not against this at all.
If there are wetlands here, that is restrictive to their ability to develop the property. I think that's the more, from a development perspective, is the more important issue, right?
No, I think it's smell.
Oh, okay. If the smell concern is, we've gotten a report that there has been no.
No,
evidence of
I've never
odor.
smelled anything. I'm just talking
Yeah.
about these people that I've been in negotiations with for purchase. They've brought up these questions,
Okay.
so I felt I had to address them. So
I'll
what
tell you
could
what,
happen?
let me give you this, my copy of the report, and you can
Okay.
share that with them. They can see the agent's report and his findings.
Sure.
And so that might.
That might
provide some-
eliminate it, right?
Might provide some.
Well, you know, and so, I was gonna say what I'd be saying, but, you know, as it is a right to farm community, and the pig farm was here first, then we'd be saying to tell them, well, our regulations say, don't put a house within 400 feet of the piggery. You know, it's on the developer now, because
Well,
You
I
know,
think.
what if he's planning to put a house there?
you know, then he, well, I shouldn't say like this, but what I'm saying is that under the rules of the right to farm community, you know, if someone decides to put a house 100 feet from a pig farm and then complain about the odor, they've got a very steep hill to climb to put the responsibility on the farmer. It's
Right, but I
what did you
think.
inspect? You're 100 feet of an operation that generates odor, whether you're putting manure on your fields or whatever. So,
However, I think in this case, given the manure management plan, that the manure is being trucked
Yeah.
off weekly, that the agent found no odor, no evidence of rodents or anything else, that it's a very clean operation, that hopefully will alleviate their concerns. If they have further concerns, they can, communicate with the Board of Health or the
yeah.
Conservation Commission, to
And
follow.
what, is there any recourse once the permit's given, if they do have something?
If they have a legitimate complaint, they can file a complaint, but it
Okay.
sounds to me like if we would have to go out and investigate, do we all of a sudden notice odor or other problems that indicate that it's not in compliance with the
I have
regulation?
not
Then we
noticed,
would-
I have not noticed
Right.
any of those concerns. I'm just
Please,
voicing.
Ben,
I just don't want this to blow up my freaking sale.
No, I know,
you've been next to the pigs.
I mean, that's a
You've been next
bit.
to the manure.
Yeah, you
So,
never gave me one.
I had,
yeah.
I was hoping they went to my property and never came back.
they would have stood there, the coyotes would have eaten them all.
I understand that
I'm
you're.
trying to be as cordial, but yet protect
Right.
my
So,
own.
feel free to share that with a
That
prospective
property.
buyer. I think based on what I'm hearing here today, is that the proposed piggery permit, should be issued because it's in compliance with our regulation, and he, has demonstrated very good, management practices. I can't project what will happen in the future, but hopefully the information we've shared will be, helpful to the prospective buyer. But that's not that. I think we need to make our decision based on the information presented here today. I appreciate your input and the concerns, you know, you're raising on behalf of the potential buyer. My recommendation would be to grant the permit subject to a review by the informal review by the Conservation Commission. And if they determine that it needs a, you know, an RDA or something, I don't know what it would be, but that could.
I don't really think that's necessary. If you just grant it, I think we'll be okay.
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 All right, I don't need further
Okay.
work for you guys or stress on my man Carlos.
Okay.
Because I don't know how if he has 3 female pigs, he keeps getting babies.
I always
Carlos, don't
I always had a single mother pigs since the 1990s. When Henry Rood was there and Dave Sullivan, everyone was there.
Must have a bore somewhere. Anyways, otherwise, very, very,
No, that's fine. It's
virgin
interesting.
birth there or something, I don't know. Okay, any other questions from the board, any other interested parties? If not, I would accept a motion.
I move that we approve the permit for a large piggery for 85 Forge Road for Mr. Ferreira.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to grant the large piggery permit at 85 Forge Road. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Good luck.
McIntyre.
Thank you.
Okay.
You owe me a pig. Hey, wait.
Oh, my phone.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Okay, on to our 440 variance hearing request. That's not a variance. Glenn Potter, representing Sarah Hinson at 1636 Drift Road for a 1-bedroom repair with a quick 4 infiltrator.
Gentlemen,
17,434 square feet. Mr. Potter, please.
Glenn Potter here for Sarah Hinson, 1636 W Drift Road, down at Aberdeen Shores. Anyway, I was in here last fall trying to get a permit for a well, because this home shares a well across the street. Mrs. Hinson's mother owned the house across the street and also this cottage. So what happened is mother sold the house, and the deal was in the sale that they drilled their own well on the cottage side of the road and get off another home's water supply. So the question came up as to what was there for a septic, and it is a beehive. Title V was done. It's a beehive, and it's in the water table. So I went down to the percolation test and come up with a design for the septic system. As you see, it's a 1-bedroom cottage, but we're going to design for 2. And I placed the well where I placed it, and I have did you get that drawing I have?
I did. I don't know what it means, but
Well, what it means is the pink line is 100 feet from the proposed well. The proposed well is going to end up being 83 feet from the proposed leach area. And I spoke to Matt, I'm talking about trying to move this thing. I'm 55 feet, I believe, from the 54 feet from the wetlands point, at the closest point. And the dashed line on the plan is the resultant 50-foot buffer zone. That pink line is that's 100 foot from the proposed well. I could back it off toward the street and maybe pick up like 87 feet or 88 feet, but I tried moving it to the left and to the right, and it always intersects that leaching field. I'm trying to keep it 10 feet off the property line, and if I try to avoid that 100-foot radius line, as I move to the northeast, I got no room. I have no room at all.
Can you do,
I could move it 5 feet closer to the wetlands, but it's not gonna get me 100 feet away. And I have to worry about the gentleman next door, his septic system. I forget who it is anyway. I repaired that system many years ago, and his well's within 100 feet of his system. It's right down, right off the angle point in that line down there. So,
well, you know, of course, that new wells can't be within 100 feet, so.
what's the replacement? It's a replacement well. It's a replacement well because the house had no well.
Well,
It's not a new construction.
no, but it's a new well. And I don't think the regulation,
This is a Title V, right?
Title
Yes.
V,
I don't see why, if the system can be grandfathered, why can't a well?
because it's not, the well wasn't there, it's not, it's a new well. And it's a Title V, where
I think it just says no well can be installed within the years. I don't know exactly what the language is.
the language.
It's 15029. 029.
Violation of Title V for any person to construct or install a water supply well closer to a system component than the relevant setbacks. So,
Yet when we repair a system, we get waivers to be within 100 feet of a well.
Yeah,
for an existing system, this is not an existing
for
well.
an existing well.
Well, the existing well's across the street.
It's an interesting way of thinking about it.
Huh?
And it's 100 feet away.
But you can't, the people who own the property don't want to use that well. And that was the agreement these people made about knowing anything about this.
Can I ask a question? So, we talked earlier about maybe spinning the system and moving it closer to the wetlands. Can that be done?
Less than 50 feet?
Yeah, because can the board issue an upgrade approval easier if it was closer to the wetlands rather than the 100 feet setback to the well?
Well, that would require a Title V variance. I don't know if we can, the 50 feet,
If it was less than 50 feet from the wetland?
that's also a Title V variance, or LUA, is it an LUA?
Hmm?
50 feet?
Title V says 50 feet from the wetlands with the septic system.
Okay. So it's in the same boat as the 100 feet?
I think you can,
What?
I think you can waive it. I
Yes,
mean, it's in 405.
yeah.
Yes,
You
you
can
can do
wait, you can do
a
a,
full
you can do a
variance.
full, you can do a variance. But I think it, because it doesn't really distinguish between new or replacement. It just says it's a violation of, Title V for any person to construct or install a water supply well closer to a system component than the relevant setbacks, in the design section.
But I would
So-
say,
How can you do that on a substandard lot?
well, you can do D-night, that would be one way to provide.
Well, that'd be less than 100 feet, so you install a D9.
Yeah.
That doesn't make everything go away.
I know, well,
No.
No, I
it's
mean,
better.
well, it's like it's
It's right on the river,
like the
too,
variance
so,
part of it.
Well, that's why we don't want to get closer than 50.
Yeah, and is there any, why am I blanking on, the technology that you can, make the leach field smaller?
Yeah, get rid of the two-bedroom restriction. I could cut that thing in half. Then slide it down maybe.
Mhm.
I mean, they give you all these rules, but
Yeah,
Don't you get a leach field reduction for a repair? like up to 50% on some of the different technologies.
You put D9 in, you get 50% reduction.
So that would shrink it a bit.
But I've already got, I got a 30% reduction using the quick cord. D9 will make it work. The trouble is, this is a summer cottage, strictly a summer, I'm not saying it's always gonna be that. These people were up here like for the month of July, and that was it, they're gone, they're in South Carolina.
Mm.
So how's that D9 gonna work? It'll work someday if it's fully occupied. So I kind of built that, this is really a workover cottage. If anybody wants to live here just like Tom did next door, he's gonna have to go up above the floodplain, or some 14 feet above the ground, or 9 yards. Look, if that's the only way they can make it work, there's nothing I can do about it.
Well, that would be one way to bring it into,
Then I'm not sure, I'd have to look at it to see. Well, then I perhaps could go within 50 feet of wetlands for the D9.
I'm leaning that way. It is right on the river. I understand your concerns about it. I don't know if we can, if waiving that 1 foot, like the 2-bedroom minimum, can we do that?
No.
No?
I would, well,
Go ahead.
I have to read through it all. It's kind of a long section, 405, but in 405, you know, you might be able to reduce the system location setbacks from the bordering vegetated wetlands. So it might be a better option in protecting the well, to push the system closer that way, to maybe get the 100 feet. If you, in addition, moving the well back towards the property line a little bit, you might squeeze out that 100 feet.
And if you squeezed out the 100 feet, would you say D9 would not be necessary, or what are you saying?
I'm just saying that, well, we're just simply saying you could possibly get to 100 feet.
Let me see what she gets from it.
So you're 13 feet off the property line, you could only get 3 feet there, maybe, so. Or can we do,
Does the gradient of the site have any effect on it? You know, would the well be up gradient?
The well would be upgraded, not by much, but it would be.
So that's also a factor in favor of the variance.
And you can see I got six up by the house and 5 and 3. Scratch it.
Okay, oh
The
yeah.
road's probably around 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would be.
And it's, yeah, and it's really only, you know, in terms of whatever the cone of influence, you really only have 1 bedroom,
Right.
you know, drawing in there, so we don't have a lot of, you know, so.
I don't know if I could take the infiltrator reduction, and the D-night at the same time?
I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's it would be to wetlands,
Yeah.
so.
Well, it's gonna be awful close, you're gonna be. My fear is that where I did the perk test, it's solid ground. But if you look down toward the river, you can see a change in the grass. I think it was filled in March one time. Well, I'm not crazy about, that's why the phragmites are growing there. And the gentleman next door has the same issue, has a lawn all the way down to the river, but I'm suspect of it, but, you know, make it work somehow.
well, then maybe D-night's the way to go.
Yeah, but I don't wanna be eating crap with the system. I did a sieve analysis on this, and it's bony bank on gravel. I came out with 5 minutes per inch by sieve. And you don't see too many sieves with that flow rate. And I used the worst category 1. the loading rate, 0.74. I'll see what I can do with that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, all they're trying to do is remedy the situation. Maybe they made their hardship by saying they put a well in, but I think if I own a house across the street, I wouldn't really want to be responsible for someone living in the car that's drawing on a well. It's a shared well.
Yeah, it's no longer family, I get that. That's not,
But
we didn't create that hardship, but I understand,
Mhm.
I understand that.
the D-night's not gonna work there because it's just a season. But if that makes it look good, that's no problem. And maybe someday it'll be year-round.
Any other ideas?
This is an area for bottomless sand filter, would that shrink
Then
the
you can put a
area?
bottle of sand filter in there, no problem. Just make it a $50,000 system.
That's generally the issue, is it gets pricey.
It gets prices, yeah.
You have to use it as an Nantac system with a bottle of sand filter. And I mean, people pay $50,000 for that. I sell them, but I don't like it.
Well, I think if we go back to treating it in a full variance context, you know, and you're upgrading it and you reduce the size of the leach field as much as you can, you know, I don't think I would have, and you also have that kind of at least small use now, that I wouldn't feel like we're straining the criteria to approve something like that.
But we have to go through the variance process.
Yeah, but then you'd have to go through the variance process, yeah, but,
Well, whatever you can do to squeeze a few feet here or there,
Same thing?
since you're gonna have to come back for a full variance process, I mean, relook and see if you can squeeze a few feet here or there.
When you say full variance, does the local upgrade approvals allow us to be less than 50 feet?
To the wetlands?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that the
405.
in 405, like I said, it's a long section, I wanted to read it through again, but it does indicate on 105E, it says an LUA would, you could do a reduction of the system location setbacks from the BBW, so.
Yeah.
So that's not a full variance, that's.
The
No,
full
no,
variance
just
is
for the well.
Less than 100
If you were
feet.
gonna go that route, it would be an LUA.
yeah.
If you moved it to closer, yes. So it could be an LUA closer to the wetlands, or a full variance,
If it's less than 100 feet
less
still.
than 100 feet from the well.
That's,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
I'll do what I gotta do.
Okay,
So,
so,
when did you wanna come back?
About a month from now, maybe 2. I've been through for a year already. All right, let me think.
So next meeting we have is on November 10th. And then we got the
November
24th,
24th.
which is just before Thanksgiving. And then we'll be going into December after that.
Let's make it the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Okay, the 24th.
Okay. So I take a motion to continue to November 24th, I'm assuming 4:30, we don't have any other appointments, do we know?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second to continue the project for 1636 W Drift Road to November 24th at 4:30
And
PM.
let me see what variances I need, and I'll list them, and I'll give you a letter, so that you know.
Exactly, great, thank you, we have enough time for that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Potter.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, on the 4:50 PM hearing for Alphonse Coca for 80 Gifford Road, Freedom Realty Group, 3-bedroom affair with a full-tech chain bed on 85 square feet, representing KBM Designs, is that correct? Hi.
Good evening, my name is Alphonse Coca, KBM Design Group.
Oh, okay, that's Alphonse Coca. Sorry, I misunderstood. So
It's all right.
Freedom Realty is the owner of 80 Gifford.
Correct.
You are
The
Alphonse
engineer.
Coca, the K of KBM.
KBM, correct. 102 State Road in Dartmouth. So we are here, I'm here for the two local upgrades for the reduction of setbacks from the foundation and the reduction of setback from the breakup elevation from 15 feet to 9 feet, and then reduction from foundation from 20 feet to 12.5 feet. So I use the Cultex to reduce the footprint to keep it as tight as I can.
Mm-hmm.
The system is outside the 100-foot radius for the existing wells that we survey picked up during the survey, so we're showing that one. And that's the only area where the system fits well, and unfortunately the site is tight. The existing cesspool was within the well radius, so we completely get out of there.
Okay.
I looked around moving it further up, but the slopes sloped down significantly, so it would make it even more of a challenge to move the system. So I believe that's like the best location, and there's
Okay.
no other alternatives.
Okay, and this is on a public water line, correct?
Correct. They have the water line is up to the left side of the property. There's a gas line to the right, and then the reason why the breakout elevation relief is because there's a retaining wall next to the cemetery, and the survey they show elevation 143 kind of goes in and goes inside, and then cheats out again towards the cemetery. So that's a pinch point over there.
Okay. All right, I'll turn it to Matt.
This is such a tight site, there's not a lot you can do. So, yeah, you know, we had some back and forth, but this set of plans are good. I don't see any issues.
Any questions from the board?
No?
Are we ready for the motion?
I move that we approve the plans for 80 Gifford Road owned by Freedom Realty Group dated 8/25/25 with the variance as described of 12.5 feet from the SAS to the foundation wall from the required 20 and I say 20 feet or 12 inches. Is it inches or feet? It's inches. Let me see. And the reduction of it's feet. Reduction of 15 feet from the horizontal separation between the SAS and the side slope to 9 feet from 15 is required. With the following conditions: hold harmless agreement and a 3-bedroom deed restriction.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded to approve the project at 80 Gifford Road with those variances and local upgrade approvals and those conditions. We don't need Concom review, right? Is it reviewed by Concom?
It has been.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Have a great night.
You too. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll do a motion to adjourn.
You ready?
I'm ready.
So I move that we adjourn this meeting at 5:11 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. Unanimous. Thank you.